Do it.
1, 2, 3, 4. We want the funk.
Gotta have that.
I love that horn. Go ahead.
We want the funk.
That was pretty good. That was pretty
That was
good.
special. That was special.
I just want to tell him the impact that he had on my life. You know, he made being different cool. Okay, so for all of us kids that were a little bit different, we got cool when Bootsy hit the scene.
I ain't gonna say don't do this and don't do that, because when James Brown told me don't do something, I did it. Hey James, I did it.
Oh my dear, Bootsy blasting up in your ear. I'm your #1 Funkateer, giving you the album of the year. Hot diggity dog, hang on like quick straw. Yeah, get down to the raw. Hot diggity dog. It's our constitutional duty to uplift our natural beauty.
Bootsy, man, you are the man. Seriously, the man.
I don't think many will get this opportunity to meet a legend like this, right? So we are so grateful that he is here. I want to bring out a great friend of the store. I think she's fantastic. Incredible Instagram page, incredible Facebook page, and a fantastic podcast. She has interviewed Dr. Dre, Smokey Robinson. The list goes on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for Miss Lindsey Renee.
Thank you. Good afternoon, good evening to everyone. I want to thank you for coming out and celebrating old school music. I mean, it's obviously grown into legacy and much more, but thank you for loving the music that came out over 50 years ago and just continue to support his work. So let's bring out Mr. Bootsy Collins. Hi.
What's happening?
See, I feel like now I feel like I should have given more of an introduction, but I feel like a man with such a presence doesn't really need an introduction. Because we all know him from his shades, right? The star glasses, from that iconic bass line that he does. Like, we love that. And now you're here in Detroit. I want to say welcome back to Detroit.
Oh man, this is like my second home.
I was gonna say.
Motor City! I'm just glad to still be around and still to have friends to come out and funk with you, you know?
Yes.
That's a beautiful thing, man. Wow. I mean, and I have no idea what she's getting ready to ask me. So
listen, I always tell people I'm not a shock jock, but I might ask you some questions about some oldies that you forgot about.
I think.
And I'm gonna test you on your knowledge.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be very sad.
But of course, we are gonna talk about the brand new album of the year, #1 Funkateer, and I'm super excited about this.
Yeah, me too.
But I want to start with, we are talking about, being in Detroit, and you said this is like a second home for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is where, Funkadelic kind of started. And then it grew into Parliament.
Yeah.
This is where George Clinton was based out of.
Yeah.
And right in the beginning of your career, when you left James Brown, you got on a plane and you came here.
Yeah.
Since,
Actually, it wasn't a plane. We were still.
Train ride?
We were still, we had left James Brown, so that was like the money we were making.
Yes.
But it went real fast. I mean, real fast.
Okay.
So we were like, kind of almost hitchhiking
Ooh,
from Cincinnati to Detroit.
Well, not a long hitchhike, though.
Not a long
far.
hitchhike, but the idea alone was deep.
Okay.
Just all of us, guys, like 8, 10 guys, and then we had, the ones that wanted to follow us. We had to have everybody in the car, So it was a heck of a ride.
I'm sure. What was it? No. I get that, and obviously, what was it like to be on tour with James Brown, and then you leave there, and you, like you said, you hitchhike, and you did all the things in between, and then you end up here. What was it like to join Funkadelic? That was, turned into Parliament. What was it like to do that and be in Detroit?
It was so much fun.
Okay.
I mean, fun, I think, was the thing that led me anyway.
Mm.
I mean, I guess I was always on a journey to have big fun. I mean, today is led by, like money.
Mm.
But then for me, it was all about fun. Show me some fun, and I'm there. So, with James Brown, we kind of learned ABC, like, in the military, you gotta clean your shoes. Yeah, clean your shoes, comb your hair. Make sure you're sitting up straight, which I'm not, if you notice. But we learned that from him because everything was like structured, and so when I got with George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic, it was the whole opposite. Nothing structured. And, my lifestyle that I wanted blossomed when I got with Parliament Funkadelic, because I got a chance to do whatever I want, whatever the funk I wanted to do. And it was just a beautiful thing. Everybody, the musicians, the art, different artists, everybody just had a good time off of everybody, and so we took that to the stage, and when you take that to the stage, the people give it back, just like sitting here right now. I mean, it's like the vibe, you don't have to explain the vibe. The vibe is the vibe,
Absolutely.
And so that's what we were getting every night we did the show, and that built. It builds a certain kind of confidence in you and the people, not just you. It builds a thing between you, and it's a connection. It's kind of like a great marriage, that's never gonna end. I mean, we're gonna work this sucker till the wheels fall off, and that's the way it was in all of our minds. And don't take something that exudes that or makes that, like even more of like, wow, this is incredible.
I definitely understand what you're saying. A lot of those, like you said, you were soldiers, and I think you said once before, you correct me, that you became astronauts.
Oh, we were far beyond astronauts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what James Brown taught you that left you with an amazing career.
Yeah.
The One.
Yeah, The One.
I'm going to talk about The One, and those of you who do not know what The One is, it is the first measure, that first note, right?
Yes.
And so, James Brown, my first question is, did James Brown invent The One? Because back in that time, late 60s, early 70s, everyone was it on the 2 and the 4? Or the 1 and the 3?
Both.
Okay, both.
Yeah.
So a lot of Motown songs, like that's not Motown, but like a Respect by Aretha Franklin.
Right.
That's on the 1 and the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And you learned that from James Brown. You put that in what you were doing with George Clinton.
Yeah.
And then, of course, what you did in your solo career. Now that we're here in 2025 and we have Album of the Year, #1 Funkateer, are you still incorporating The One?
I'm still on The One, baby.
Please, yes.
Not only am I still on The One, Detroit is still on The One.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Goat Lions, them others, boy. Them some bad boys. They some bad boys.
And would you say that James Brown invented the one though?
I wouldn't
Or
say
just at
he.
least the
I
first
wouldn't
one to
say
do
he invented it. I would say it was around, and for us, he was the first one to recognize what it was, and give it a name, because that was the problem. It was like a lot of stuff is around us, but if we don't give it a name or if we don't recognize it, it's just there,
Absolutely.
It's just like, we sitting here and we're just here unless we make something happen. So the one made it happen through James Brown, and he made James Brown come up with this, because he's trying to explain it to me and he didn't know what to call it, and when he said the one, I said, oh, the one. That was like, gave him confirmation that, oh, it's about the one. He even learned something.
Do you think the one is bigger than just about a beat and a note? It could be, like about a person, maybe the one?
Yeah. The one, all of us is a part of the one.
Okay.
All of us. When you hear a person talking about how great he is and he's the one, then you might as well turn around and go the other way.
Oh, okay.
Because
so be scared of the one.
The serious thing is, the one is all of us together. And that's what we did with Parliament Funkadelic. We want the funk.
Yeah. Gotta have that funk. Come on.
What? That's the one. That's the one. Check it out. There you go.
So those of you who do not know what the one is, excuse me.
One.
He's showing you. Do it.
1, 2, 3, 4. We want the funk.
Gotta have that.
I love that horn. Go ahead.
We want the funk.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was special. So, like you said, you're still using it in your, obviously now in your career, or continuing to use it in your career, especially in this new album. You've got a song, the Pastor P.
Pastor
the
P.
Tribute.
Yep.
So, what was it like reliving that? Because that's obviously from Past the P's.
Yes.
Back in the day with the JVs.
Yes. Yes.
What was it like to have that inspiration to, mind you, you've had a career that's over 50 years long.
Yeah.
You're now going back and revamping it, if you will. What was that process like?
Actually, you can't get rid, when something affects your life like that, you can't just throw it away and get rid. I mean, you can, but if you are feeling it, and if you were into it, and if you're still gaining from that massive thing, whatever that thing was, it's like, I can never get away from that. Only thing I can do is always acknowledge it, and it's kind of like the one.
Yeah.
I mean, you can never get away from it because everybody's a part of it, And the thing we have to do now is let people understand that all of us are on the one.
Yes, we are.
Now, check it out. It even goes down to the machines. Look at the computer. Click, 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 click. What's that? Click, click. Ain't that the one?
Yes.
The machines are doing it. I mean, they've been doing it. So if don't nobody give anything a name, then nobody recognizes that it's been
That's
around.
absolutely true. Even just, the funk. No, how could you separate that from blues or soul or R&B?
It's all.
Somebody had to call it the funk.
It's all
to make
in there.
the funk.
It's all in there. They had been rejecting the funk for years. But this right here tells you that the funk is so infectious. And then people have to recognize, how can you come through a A-hole and a P-hole and not be funky? I mean, check it out.
No
Check
comment.
I mean, thank God there's no kids in here.
Hey. My mom says I'm still wet behind the ears. Okay, okay.
Oh God. Right. Oh my man, what's up? What's up?
We got a lot of familiar faces in the crowd. I just want to say thank you to everybody. I know we are getting into this and we are moving along, but I just want to say thank you to everyone who came out. And you know, it's a Thursday. We working and everything. It's a midday week, so you know, thank you for coming on out.
Thank you. You know what, Lindsey? I must say, you have definitely did your homework.
I'm just getting started. I haven't even impressed you.
I was scared to death. I mean, you know, until I sit down and realize that you were on. You were on
I'm the one. I'm on the one.
Yeah.
Okay, look, that, my life is complete, okay, guys? That's all I need to know. I'm on the one.
Right.
So, with this new album, and obviously you doing what you've done in the past, how do you balance keeping that same one, that funk that you've known, but also merging and bridging into what's today? How do you balance that?
What I do is get out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know, that's so the one can show what he does. It's not really me. It's the one. It's the one. You know, that comes through me. And once we all realize that everybody got the one, and whatever that one is in you, you bring it forth. You know. And it ain't about bragging about what I do and this, that, and the other. I'm the one, this, that, and the other. It's all about that one coming up out of you so you can give it to somebody else. You know, and it keeps going on and on and on and until somebody recognizes it and say, oh, that's that one that so-and-so was talking about. You know?
Yes.
You know, but it's in everybody. It's in all of us, you know? So it's a beautiful thing.
It is. And speaking about, you know, you had a lot of, I would say, vets, like heavy hitters on this album, but you also had a lot of new voices.
Oh, man.
A lot of new voices. Did you learn anything from the vets, but also, like, did you, really honestly, did you learn anything from those new voices? Because obviously it's 2025 and you're having them on your album and you're seeing what they're doing. Did you learn anything?
I always learn something from anybody. I mean, it don't matter if it's a wino, you know. I mean, it don't matter if it's a CEO. I learn from everybody.
Okay.
You know, but you have to open yourself to be able to let stuff in, you know, and it's scary out here, you know, that's what they say, you know, but at the same time, I have to be open to everything because when I receive, then I can transmit, you know, and it keeps going. You know, when I get around the young musicians and artists, they feel me, you know. I feel them with that excitement, whatever it is, you know, and we trade off without trading. You know, it's like you can have this, you can have this. If you give me that, it ain't none of that. You know, we just give and transmit. We give and we transmit, you know, and you don't have to think. That's what funk is. You don't have to think about it. You funky anyway.
That's right. Do you feel that it's easier to learn something today than it was back then? Or it's the same cycle?
Well, you know, you can't even compare today with, you know, that era. Because that era, we grew up around so many great musicians and people, you know, well, you can't even, you know, that's not a comparison, you know. What I like to do is talk about that era and then talk about, you know, what's happening now as little as I can because I don't know a lot about today's era, you know, but that's what makes me feel so good when I have them around me because I learn, you know. So I can't speak on today's era because I'm not coming up in it. I'm coming up in it, but I'm outside of it looking at it. And I get the opportunity to learn because I step out of the way.
Yeah.
Most people don't step out of the way. you know, and then they get funked all up. You know, like me, I'm funked all up, you know. So, you know, everybody gets the opportunity. It's just the ones that take it, you know. So, yeah.
But that's an amazing mindset to have, considering, I mean, like music, like you said, music changed. It's a different type of musicians there are today.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you always have that mindset in the sense of, I want to evolve and I want to, you know, keep up with what's going on? Because I've talked to a lot of different old school artists that are stuck in the 70s, and they don't want to.
They don't want to. No, but see, it's like, for me, it's like, you know, it's like when James Jamerson. Anybody out there know James Jamerson?
Yeah.
He was then, and he still is my hero. You know, and for him to change from an upright bass, you know, making all those hits on an upright bass, and change to a Fender P bass, that was unheard of. I mean, you don't do that. You know, you're a legit qualified upright bass technician, and you're gonna change to a what? A Fender bass? You know, no, you know, Motown wasn't having that, you know. So he did it anyway. And guess what? The whole market changed. Yep. Fender P basses, Fender Jazz basses, Gibson basses. I mean, I'm talking about electric, you know, piano. There are musicians that swore by the piano, the organ. When synthesizers came in, it was like, oh, hell no. Oh, nobody wants to change.
Absolutely.
You know, so somebody has to step up and don't even have to say, hey, y'all, let's change. They just do it. Once it's done, Motown, Jamerson did it at Motown. As soon as he changed, he started making money. Same money he was making, but more, you know, than when he was playing the upright bass. Then it was like he didn't even have to say, see there? He didn't have to say it. The work spoke for itself, what he did. And they don't want to tell that story, but that's the inside.
Do you think it's the same as you just going from a bass player to a recording artist? I mean, in the sense of, you know, he changed his instrument, or at least changed guitars. Is it the same thing as, you know, being, not to say a background guy, but someone that was like a musician mainly, versus, you know, you're not the George Clinton or the James Brown in the front. Was that kind of the same for you, or different?
I don't really understand the question, but can you break it down?
Yeah, and is it different to, okay, so how he made a drastic change, and what I'm saying. I think
you meant, was it different from coming from the back with the drummer all the way to the front? You know what's funny? I was just thinking about that today. I was like, in the hell did you come from the back there with the drummer, you know, where ain't nobody paying no attention to, all the way to the front? You know, I was about an hour and a half ago, I was thinking about that. And I was like, I had to really think about it. Like, how did that? I don't even know. All I know is I put the work in, I practiced, I watched. You know, I always listen and learn. That was my whole thing. Being a musician in King Records, you know, that's where I really got my start, or my taste at being a musician that people would love.
Yeah.
You know, not just, look at me, not that, but being able to accommodate other artists, other musicians, make their stuff sound good, you know, because I'm in the background, you know, ain't nobody looking at me, you know, but I'm going to make you listen to me, but without telling you, because I'm going to play so much shit on here, and you're going to be like, damn, you know. And that was my mindset, you know. I wasn't trying to get to the front of the stage. I was just trying to show you that I can do something on this thing here, you know. And it just came out that
You got to start singing some songs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and then James Brown heard about this bad rhythm section, and he was like, yeah, So it was like, he wasn't having it. It was cool that they good and everything, but I'm James Brown. They need to come see me, So that's his attitude, and which was cool, because, when we show up, you gonna know up. And that's sure enough what happened, And so we were these street kids, and James Brown was like 20 years older, and, we were laughing at him, This was the hippie days coming up, and I was a part of that. And it felt so good, to come from that vibe or that surrounding, that we had, bikers and all of that. I wanted to be involved in all of that, and I finally wind up and did. But it took all of that stuff that I was going through to get to that, and that's why we're sitting here now having this beautiful conversation. Yes! Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I got it.
So did you have a bigger vision for this album, or did it just come about? Did you have features aligned and you were like, this needs to be in an album? How did number one Funkateer come?
It came I think after the first song I recorded, which was, I believe it was Influencers.
Okay.
And, me and my friend Dave Stewart, out of the Eurythmics, we go back a ways and writing stuff together. And I think that's what inspired me, like what I wanted this album to say and be, and how I wanted people to feel. I wanted people to have fun, because we were going through some crazy, downer stuff, and anybody that back in the day that took different drugs and stuff knows the difference between downers and uppers, So, I knew that feeling of downer, but I also knew the feeling of how up you can be and how good, how great you can be. Oh man, this feels so good. Oh yeah. Well, don't get too excited. But, those different feelings, that you want people to feel, because everybody walking around looking like down, I had that experience in the band with Funkadelic.
Yes.
Most of them were downer heads, and they're my friends, so I can talk about them a little bit, but I won't dog.
All good things.
I won't dog none of them out, because they helped me get to where I am, wherever that's at. And so the upper thing, I love that, So when I started doing, I didn't have to start, I was already up.
Yes.
But when I started doing that even more, it's like I wanted to be in the studio all the time. All the time. So I would party, not all night until in the morning. I would break it off to like about 3 at my latest, and then wake up at 6 and be ready to go to the studio, because George gave us free access to the studio if whoever the first one is to the studio gets to have the day.
Oh wow, that's a good trade-off, I'd say.
That was my like, what do you call that? Inspiration to wake up and to forget about the party at 3 o'clock when it's just really starting, and then people are looking at me like, where are you going?
You know what you sound like? Bobby Womack has a song called Daylight. Are you familiar with it?
I know Bobby Womack.
Okay, but are you familiar with the song Daylight? He talks about how he's just getting up when people are going, or he's just going to sleep when people are getting in. That's your life. Or was your life.
Yeah. It's funny you mention him, because before he passed, we did a couple of new songs that nobody's heard.
Can we hear them? Or can I?
It's coming.
Okay. All right. All right.
All right.
Okay. Well, the title alone, album of the year, #1 Funkateer. I have two questions.
Yeah.
Number one, what is a Funkateer?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now look, somebody can explain it.
Please.
Because,
When you know the funk, you live the funk, and you expose the funk to the rest of the world.
there you go.
Okay. Okay. My follow-up question is, why that title? Is it more of just a statement, like #1 album of the year?
Okay, let me explain
Okay,
it to you. Okay. You remember the album I just signed for you back in the back?
Yes,
with
yes.
Player of the Year?
Yes.
I called myself Player of the Year.
Okay.
You know why? Because wasn't nobody paying attention. You know, every other album won something, this, that, and the other, but the funk was too funky. Too funky, you know. And so we have to, evolve
Yes.
into a certain time to be accepted. And I know the time ain't now. That's why I said, this is going to be the album of the year.
Yes. Okay.
And when you call it into existence, and you see, you know, it's the people that decide. It's the people that decide, you know. I mean, the real people, not the ones that's supposed to be judging, you know.
They don't count.
Yeah.
We're not talking about them.
That's right. So that's why I called it Album of the Year. And I said #1 Funkateer because that's what they are.
Okay. If someone was at a record store, someone maybe a young Funkateer, if you will, a brand new Funkateer just getting hip to funk, they went to a record store and they picked out this album right here. What is another album that would make them a funk fan? I want to say it could be one of your earlier albums, but it could be just a favorite album of yours by James Brown, by Parliament, whoever.
Wow, that's a good question. I never thought about that.
What would be another song to make someone turn on to the funk?
Well, I must say, and I'm not saying this because I was on it, but it was funky.
Okay.
Flashlight.
Okay, yes, okay. Okay. So you heard that, all you Gen Zers out there, or even people that have never gotten to the funk, Flashlight, and of course, album of the year, #1 Funkateer, that is your introduction to funk.
Well, you know, to add on to that, we recorded down the United Sounds, right? Yeah. And all of those hits that we were doing at that time were recorded at United Sound. And so Bobby Tick, no, not Bobby Tick, what's the name of the song? Give me a second, y'all. I'm funked up a little bit. I'm making love to you, Johnny Taylor.
Oh my God!
I knew you knew. Okay, so
who's making love? Who's making love?
well, it was after that. It was what was
take care of
it?
your homework.
What? Disco Lady.
Oh, okay.
Disco Lady.
Well, you said right after. I'm thinking follow-up hits.
Well, see how on it you are, and I'm
That's
just.
the song. That's the one. That's the one.
But Disco Lady,
Yes.
Don Davis, who was the producer of Johnny Taylor,
Yes.
wanted this new funky sound, right? And he was like, but him and George Clinton always butted heads because they both are producers, and then we are George's group, right? Funkadelic,
Absolutely.
and Don Davis wants to borrow us for Johnny Taylor's record. So
y'all were gonna be on Disco Lady?
was gonna be. We are on Disco Lady.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, that's how that kind of went down. Don Davis had to go to George to ask him permission to use us as the band, and so George said, okay, you can do it this time, but just this time, don't even try coming back, you know. So we did it, and it went, was it 3 platinum?
Yes, and it's actually like, yes,
First
yes,
yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
If I would have brought the Eargasm album if I knew. Wow, wow.
Yeah, but that, just like that, and then when they got on the show, the funny thing about musicians, they watch. I mean, they watch just to see, you know, what's happening, you know.
Yes.
So they did Soul Train, and Don Cornelius asked them about the band and this, that, and the other. They didn't even mention our name. But that's the stuff that you have to go through in the music business. That, you know. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, you know, so we didn't barf about that, and then they got the platinum awards, right? Guess what?
Nothing.
We didn't get nothing, you know. So when he comes and asks George again, because we made the platinum, can they use us again? George was like, nah, you had your chance. You had your chance. So that's what happened.
Now, was it only on that song off that album? That was only that one song, Disco Lady?
That's the only one
Okay.
George would allow
Well,
us
I
to
get
do.
it. I
Yeah.
get it.
And we was loyal. I mean, you know, most musicians are loyal, you know, until you start stabbing them in the back.
I remember I saw an interview of you. You said that when you first started working with James Brown, you were worried about did you have to pay him to be with him?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because
I get that loyalty that you're saying though. Like that's how much you guys cared back then.
that's how, well, it was about the music.
Yeah.
You know, it was about the music. It wasn't about going over here getting paid for it. I mean, that wasn't the first thing on our minds. If it wasn't music, it was girls. I mean, where's the chicks? I mean, you know, if you're going to have me in the studio, have some chicks. You know, so, you know, it wasn't about money like it's about money now. Not saying that there's something wrong with that. I'm saying the era we grew up in, it was about the music.
I definitely understand that, especially because a lot of artists were just like learning to read and write. They were
Yeah.
coming out of the cotton fields and they were truthfully just becoming their own.
Yeah.
And so they were just happy to have an opportunity to play.
That's right. That's
And I
right.
think that is a beautiful
and
thing.
let it out. I mean,
Yes.
it's so much, you know, people go through.
Talent.
You know, and music was a way of us to get it out,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And it was such a beautiful thing, man. I mean, so.
You miss those days?
You know what? Actually, I don't.
Oh. You don't miss
I mean,
the 70s?
once you make it out of that shit, I mean, it was great, but it's like so much of it. You know, you have, I mean, just like the good stuff, it's double it or triple it of the bad stuff, you know, like, you know, I wouldn't want to go through that again. I mean, I'm glad I made it out to the other side and I'm still here with y'all, you know. I mean, but I would say that if anybody asked me which era would I rather be from, definitely that era.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would go through all this shit again if I had to make that kind of choice, you know, because it was just so great. It was so, I mean, everywhere around you was greatness. And, you know, it's like, how do you pay for that? Greatness all around you. You know, it ain't enough money to pay for that, you know? And we were in it.
Yeah.
All around it, surrounded. You know, when I came from Cincinnati King Records, we was playing country, we was playing blues, we was playing gospel, we was playing jazz. It didn't matter, you know? We got the opportunity to play. Did we get paid? But we got paid something else that's deeper than pay. We got the intelligence, we got the groove, we got the vibe.
The knowledge.
We got the recognition. You know, even though most mugs didn't know us in the first place, we still got that on the backside. You know, it's like now everybody, how did you get through that? Well, I'll tell you how I got through it. And I'm still trying to do it, you know? But, you know, it's just a good thing to be able to get on the other side of it. Just to say, getting on the other side of the drug thing was very deep. That was very, very deep. And we let a lot of things happen to us, but we're experimenting. You know, we're on a journey. You know, the young ones now, I'm saying to them, I ain't gonna say no to you. You know, I ain't gonna say don't do this and don't do that. Because when James Brown told me don't do something, I did it. Hey, James, I did it. You know, but thank God, some kind of way the universe takes care of fools. And I was a big fool. No, seriously. You know, and he took care of us. You know, the whole band, man, I could tell you stories where we supposed to not be here right now.
Yeah.
You know, but we're here. Well, not all of us, but some of us are here. And I'm here.
And you're able to tell us.
And I'm repping everybody.
Yeah.
I'm repping everybody. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, on this album, do you have a favorite song?
Pure perfection.
Pure Perfection. Okay.
Yeah. You know, that's really my bag, is that, you know, everybody thought I was a bump. You know, I like the bump, which I do. I mean, you know, but I like
A ballad.
the bedroom Bootsy vibe.
So
The
Bootsy's
munchies.
actually not that funky.
The munchies for your love. What's a telephone bill? I'd rather be with you. Those are the ones that people didn't have a clue that would come from me. You know, as is. that mug Maurice, he know everything. What's happening?
So
Oh, man.
is there, this is definitely outside, but is there a song, like you said, you like the ballads, you like the bedroom grooves.
Yeah.
Is there a song that wasn't?
Well, Bruno liked the bedroom Bootsy, too. Actually, I'm just going to throw this in here. Bruno is the one that said, give me that bedroom Bootsy sound. You know, because I didn't know that anybody was calling it that. And Bruno said, that's what I want. You know, because I was asking, well, what do you want me to say? He's like, whatever you say, just give me that bedroom Bootsy sound. So that's where I got it from. You know, I've been doing it, but I didn't call it a name.
And you weren't inspired by any other artists back then?
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, who? Oh, Jimi Hendrix. Okay.
Y'all already know.
Were there any other artists that maybe weren't as funky as that, if you will, as Jimi Hendrix, that you were inspired by, that you just like to listen to? Like, it wasn't a song that you guys were doing. That was your favorite back then.
We had Jimmy, we had Miles Davis,
Yes.
we had Willie Dixon, we had what's my man, Howlin' Wolf.
Yes.
You know, we had, I mean, all this stuff on the back of the bus, man, on James Brown's bus. James Brown's bus, we playing this stuff. And James you can't play nobody else but James.
He said that?
He said that. He didn't have to say it.
Okay.
No. It's like, you know, this is James Brown's bus. This is James Brown production. This is James Brown's plane. So we don't have to wait for him to say, don't play Jimi Hendrix on my bus. We already knew.
You just knew?
Oh, yes. I mean, come on. I mean, you got to know. You got to know.
Okay, so whose rehearsals went longer? George Clinton Parliament Funkadelics or James Brown's? Whose rehearsals were longer?
Longer. Okay.
Yeah, like you were
That's
in the
a good
studio.
question.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Now, if you had to say it, how many rehearsals, I would say James Brown.
Okay.
But since you said how long,
Yeah, one take or one session at least.
well, we kind of didn't go home until we got it finished.
Okay.
You know, and so, you know, between rehearsals and the bathroom stops, and not regular bathroom stops, it had Parliament Funkadelic
Okay.
by far.
Okay.
Yeah. And we liked it. It wasn't like, you know, oh man, dang, we want to go home, you know. It's like, don't nobody feel like practicing. Everybody felt like practicing. Yeah. It was a beautiful thing.
Y'all were all happy to be there.
Surrounded by greatness. Everybody was great. Everybody.
So, at this point in your career,
Yeah.
you've done so much. Did you think that? No, I'm just trying to figure out how I want to say this. Did you think that you would have this much of an impact and this much longevity in being an icon that you are?
Hell no.
No?
I mean, you know, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Here's the truth. We thought it was gonna go on just like we were forever. You know, it wasn't gonna be nothing to come in and change to knock us off. No way, no way. Because we're gonna be doing this for eternity. You know, but then you know the reality started to hit. You know, and yeah, and the good thing about it is some of us made it through. You know, but like you said before about would I want to go back and do that again? No. I'm just glad we made it through, because that was deep. You know, I mean, what I'm talking about is the music thing, but everybody's life, they have to go through stuff to figure out what to do. You know, and a lot of times life don't give you that opportunity.
Yeah.
Life will snatch you, just like that. You know, just like that. And would I be sitting here? I don't think so. You know, what happened then, you know. So somebody got my hand, and I'm thankful. I hope I answered the question.
No, you did. But what I wanted to know is, how did the stars come about? Like, how did you become known for the stars?
You know what? When I used to go to school, it wasn't interesting to me, right?
Yes.
To be honest.
Yeah.
And I would sit and draw stick men on my paper with star glasses on. I didn't know nothing about no star.
Actually, like,
Yeah.
that was your little drawing.
I
in
got the
corner?
books. I got the books to show it. Yeah. That's what I used to do. That and comic books. You know, Superman, Batman, you know, Fantastic Four.
I think we need a Bootsy comic book.
Spider-Man. Oh, well, I mean, you know, that's when the funk era comes in.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been waiting on that too.
So you just remember drawing those star glasses on stick figure men and.
That's what I wanted to, if I said to myself, if I become, I didn't even say a star. If I become this person that plays with my brother, because my brother was the one. You talking about who's the one? It wasn't me. It was my brother.
Yeah.
my brother Catfish. Yeah. So Catfish was the one that I wanted to play with, you know, because he was such an inspiration. He was like 8 years older than I was.
Yeah.
So when I was 9 years old, he's a teenager hanging out with chicks. And that's what I wanted to do.
Of course.
You know, he played guitar, made his own guitar. He had a cornflake box and a ruler. And he stuck it in there and said, "This is my guitar." And I was like, "Yeah, that's really cool. Can I use it to practice?" You know, and he thought I was joking, but I was serious, because when he really got a guitar, that's what I did. I snuck and got his guitar and started practicing while he's on his paper route. You know, and of course, I chose doing a paper route as well. So I was following his, but while I was doing it, I didn't know that I was connecting it like that, and then I got a chance to play with him. And once that happened, one night, just one night, we were together from the next day on. We were in the band together, So how do you get those stories like that?
I mean, that is just, it's meant to be.
Somebody wrote
meant to
that.
be.
It wasn't me, I tell
Yeah.
you that,
Well, that is beautiful. And I know I'm excited, but just how great is it to hear these stories? I'm talking to the audience right now. Right here, we're in the Metro Detroit area. This is just amazing
Thank
to be
you.
here.
Thank you.
So we're going to get you out of here. We're going to sign some records, take some photos.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
You are, wow. Just give it up, y'all, for Lindsey. Man,
Thank you.
you have wore me out. In a good way,
I appreciate that. I just want to say that I feel that we had something super great back in the day that a lot of people, they're sampling and they're making it new for our generation. And I feel it's my job, even though they are making it, new, and for this generation, I want to highlight those great artists and those great songs that maybe didn't get that highlight back in the day. I want to keep it alive, and I just thank you that we have artists like you that are still left that can help me tell the story.
Wow,
So thank
you're
you so
incredible.
much.
You're incredible. No, seriously. Thank you.
Of course.
Wow. That's awesome. And speaking of sampling, and speaking of AI, the way we felt about sampling, well, the way most of us musicians felt was like, oh God, here we go again. They're gonna take our stuff, we ain't gonna be able to do this, and and Prince come out with the Linn drum. The drummers were all upset. It's like, oh, they done took our gig, But the whole thing was, grab that drum and learn how to play it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I did, and people, a lot of people were through with me, but that's all the stuff you have to go through, to prove yourself. If you really believe in something, and if you believe that, what you got, it's going to be available all the time, And so I believed that. And it's like, a drum machine can't make me no worse than I am now. I mean, I'm already doing the deepest thing you can do, And so Prince went and bought the Linn drum, and that became his whole thing. And everybody wanted to follow him. And that's what I'm saying with the sampling. AI is coming with this big threat.
Yeah.
And we, the people, are very upset about him taking all of our jobs. That's the kind of upset we felt when sampling came in. It's the same thing.
Yeah, you're making us understand for sure.
And it's like, we didn't know what was going to happen with sampling. We wasn't getting paid. We knew that, But somehow it got turned around. And we started getting paid. It took a minute, It took a minute, but, and I think the same thing is going to happen, or the same kind of thing, because it's been happening. This is just a deeper looking threat. It's like one thing when you got a little kitty cat coming at you like, and you got a big old bear, full grown. Yeah. It's two different things, but they both are coming to get you, They're coming to get you, They're going to take your job. They're going to take your kid. They're going to take this. They're going to take that. But it's all right. You embrace that.
Absolutely.
Embrace that and know that nothing's going to funk with you but the funk.
My last thing, I just want to talk about your foundation, your nonprofit,
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's my girl.
Yes.
Well, yeah, Patty.
I don't know if you want to come on up.
Come on, hurry up.
Please.
Come on, Peppermint Patty. Come on, babe.
Do you think she want to sit here? Should I get up?
Oh, no. I'm the one that need to be thrown out. Come on, babe. Give her a hand, y'all. I don't know where she's coming from.
Thank you so much.
I have a microphone.
Princess?
Isn't that great? So you can have a seat. I'm good. This was really great, wasn't it? So the Bootsy Collins Foundation, we started back in 2010, became a 501c3. And we did it just because we wanted to just help our communities, right? So we do a lot of different things, but one thing we're doing right now is Funk, Not Fight. And it's where we're helping to calm the violence with the power of music and dance all around the country. So we went to the Rock Hall in Cleveland. We've been to Compton twice, Fort Wayne, Indiana, South by Southwest, going to Chicago next year, and a lot of places. And we're coming back here to Detroit to help you, you know? So involving, we find that, especially with our kids, we need to give them something to do, because when we were growing up, we had gym class, we had art, we had music, and a lot of that is gone now, especially if you're in a public school. So what do our kids like to do right now more than anything, I find? It is the pocket computer, but it's also gaming. So imagine Funk Net Fight pulls up into Detroit, and we're talking about what's going on in your city. We play music, we talk, and then all of a sudden a game truck pulls up, and maybe a few of them. And the children are able to come on that game truck, play games for a few hours, and that way, Detroit, you're letting them know you're right where they are with those games. You care about them, you love them, you want them to have something to do. So that's our next leg of Funk Not Fight, is getting with the different cities and getting the gaming trucks to come in, just to help a little bit. I think if we each do something, that's how we're going to make a difference. So that's just us in a little nutshell, but check us out, BootsyCollinsFoundation.org. We're online, and we're also coming to your city next year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One more time for Patty, Bootsy, and the lovely Lindsey Renee.
That's my mating call. Shout out to my Funkadelic. You know that I'm your Funkadelic. I'm in heat.
Yeah, the interview went really well. She was very, very good. It was very, very interesting, and she told a lot of good stories. Tell the viewers how the event was.
It was incredible. The thing I liked the most about how organized it was.
They run it really well. Nick's awesome. I mean, it's one of the best stores in Detroit, if not the best.
Everything was orderly. Our seats were great. The interview was fantastic. We had a chance to spend time with Bootsy, talk to him, take pictures with him, and we didn't feel rushed. You guys made us feel at home, like we were sitting in a living room somewhere with our favorite funk hero, Bootsy Collins. Rock City rocks.
And tonight was special. I don't know. I think it might have had something to do with Lindsey. The whole event, even the way we ended up now, it's just so inspiring.
You make me want to talk quiet. I'm usually a loud person.